What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Thai Life channel. Today I am going to show you how to do a beautiful pink and white ombre. By the time we finish this video, I want you to be so comfortable doing an ombre on yourself, on your client. It doesn't matter if you're new to the industry, you're a beginner's nail tech, you want to work from home, you want to do your own nails. It doesn't matter. My goal is to share with you all my knowledge, all my experience, so that you can take yourself to another level in the nail industry. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Min, and all I do is talk about nails, teach you about nails, share with you my nail styles, my nail life, and of course, my life. So what is an ombre? An ombre is just two color acrylic that blends together. Can we do ombre with polish? Of course you can. That method is a little bit more tedious, is a little bit more harder. You gotta have a light hand with the brush, but that's why I am gonna show you how to do a simple ombre with color acrylic using a nude and a white, okay? So now, as you all know, ombre is very popular. Everybody's asking for ombre. Weddings, parties, any type of event, you're gonna have people asking for ombre because it's elegant. It's like the next level up from a French. So how do we start an ombre? Well, the basic is the white and the pink. The white powder that I am using is called White Core by Young Nails. And the blend nude that I am going to use is called Rosebud by Young Nails. And if you're interested in locating this product, it is in the link in my description. So feel free to click the link and it will lead you there. So these are the two combinations that I find it very well blended. Now, when it comes to buying color acrylic that makes the ombre nice, there's only a few out there. And the one that I have a lot is called Glam and Glit Blend. It has to have the word blend. That means it's for ombre. So it comes in different variety of colors, different type of colors for you to blend. However, just because they make these colors to blend together to make an ombre, is it guaranteed that it's gonna blend nicely, perfectly? That's really up to you as a nail tech. That's really up to you as a nail tech. But we're gonna walk you through the basic of really how to start an ombre on your clients or even on yourself. As you can see, I start applying the white powder first. And I always start my white powder 3/4 up to the fingernails. And you're probably wondering, like, why does it have to be 3/4 up? Well, first of all, if you put the white powder on the whole nails, that wouldn't call an ombre. That would just call a solid color, right? But to put it 3/4 of the nails, it's gonna give you a chance to make that blend drag nicely. And that's what you want in an ombre. You want that blend to drag nicely. So the first thing you're going to do is pick up a bead, the white colored bead. And this white is not fully white. It's kind of like a milky white. It's kind of like a pearl white, okay? But can you use a white? Of course you can. But we're going to go in with this pearl white. Once I apply 3/4 of the nails, as I'm trying to smooth down the surface, the goal is where I start from my 3/4 of the first bead. I'm going to pin my brush down. I'm going to try to make it very, very smooth on top of the surface. And I'm going to try to concentrate all the white towards the tip of the fingernails. That's the goal, okay? So let me repeat that. We're going to go ahead. We're going to pick up this bead. Watch with me. Watch with me. We're going to lay it right 3/4 of the nail. And we're going to go ahead and get the brush and we're going to go ahead and pin it down and kind of create your invisible cuticle lines. Okay, that's what you're doing. Creating an invisible cuticle line. And as I'm patting it down, I'm trying to concentrate all the white down to the tips of the nails. That is very, very important, my friend, because the goal is not to brush all the white off. The goal is to concentrate that white down so that the white is more deep towards the end of the tips. And yes, you can put a second bead if you need to. It doesn't matter how many beads, y'all. If you guys have watched my channel long enough, you should know I don't believe in that 1 bead method, 2 bead method. I don't care. What I care about is a smooth surface and your acrylic is fully covered on the fingernails. So after I kind of work that white, work the side, make sure every gap. So a lot of y'all probably question is, so do you make the first coat really thick? Well, yes and no, it depends on the length. If this client right here, you can tell this is more like a short to a medium length, high chance I'm not gonna make it too thick because that's not a long length. When the nails are longer, I make them a little thicker just to have more dents so it doesn't break. That's all. But again, I'm gonna work on that 3/4 of the nails and just kind of work my way into it, y'all. That's how simple an ombre is, okay? This is why I always tell my student that do an ombre. If you are nervous of doing a solid application on the whole nail, do an ombre, okay? Ombre is so easy. So now, before we talk about the blending, because you guys kind of get down on the first application of the white, let's talk about the pricing of the ombre and how long does it really take. Well, the reason why I didn't fast forward this video is because I really want to show you my true speed of application when it comes to doing acrylic. When it comes to doing acrylic, there's certain type of monomers that will dry slowly, and there are certain type of monomer that dries very fast. A lot of the monomers that is MMA dries really fast. A lot of the monomers that is EMA takes more time to dry. If you don't know the differences, just know that MMA is prohibited. I do not use MMA monomers because MMA monomers is prohibited due to the fact that it has such a fine molecules in its chemicals that it can actually leak into the client's bloodstreams, body parts, damage the organ. Even the fume smells can damage your parts. So that's why MMA is so strong. It is only being used in the dentistry for making dentures. Okay, so why is nail salon still using this chemical when it's prohibited? Because it cuts costs, and it's a chemical that you cannot detect by stable coming in unless they're looking at the label. But there's a lot of salons that treat stuff like that. What they do is they change the labeling. You know, they get a good container of monomers and they use that and they pour the bad one into that container. I mean, there's so much way of tweaking stuff that is unprofessional in the industry. That's the unfortunate part. That's why my practice is pure. I don't like to cut corners, especially on my clients. My clients are hard working class people who works very hard for their money. And if they come to me for service, I want to make sure I give them everything I have in good condition. I want them to have the best chemical, the best product line. Everything I want is the best because I take pride in what I do. You just have to take pride in what you do. If you don't take pride in what you do, you're never going to be successful in anything. That's just the rule of thumb. So a lot of nail techs use these MMA chemical in regular salon, but a lot of the individual nail techs use EMA. But again, the EMA takes so much time to dry, so sometimes it gives you can't rush through it. Like, you just cannot rush through it. You know what I mean? You just cannot rush through the process. Because if the chemical doesn't dry fast enough, then you just have to wait until the chemical dries. That's just the thing about application. And when I'm doing this application right here, it's very relaxing. A lot of the clients just really look at the fingernails and be like, oh, this is so satisfying, you know, because like I say, not a lot of people do ombre, and if you are a nail tech able to knock out a beautiful set of ombre, that's a wow factor. So how much do we actually charge for this? Well, it depends. Every nail tech's price are different. I charge for an ombre $75 starting out. That's just a simple pink white ombre with no design. And to me, I think that's cheap. Because this process right here took me an hour and 15 minutes, okay? And you're probably thinking like, wow, you're getting paid $75 an hour and 15 minutes. That's almost like a pharmacist pay, right? Yeah, but the amount, what the clients are paying for is not just my time. People need to realize that. You're not getting paid by the hours. You're getting paid by the craft, by the skills that we have built by the things that we took time caring about. And that's why we end up charging what we charge. If we charge you by the hours, might as well just take 3 hours on a set of nails so I can get paid for that 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? But clients need to realize that they're paying for your creativities. And it takes a lot of work to have creativities, y'all. That's all I gotta say. If creativity was so easy, everybody be doing it. But unfortunately, it's not easy. It's hard. So that's what I'm trying to say, how we charge things in the nail industry. Okay, nail techs don't charge by the hours. We charge by our skill set, by the things that we do that you can't as a client. And that's how you charge, y'all, okay? So I know a lot of nail tech out there, man. They are scared to up their price. They are scared, but don't be scared, because the clients who loves you, who knows that you care about your jobs, and they know that this is your livelihood career, they're gonna understand and support you. And if they don't understand, they can always move on, and you will always accumulate new clientele. And that's the way this industry works, y'all. I need you guys to realize that. So as you guys can see, I'm getting off track about sharing with you guys how the pricing work with the ombre and all that. But it's not really off track, because what it is that we all need to know, like, we can produce a nice work, but how do we charge? What's the right price? There is no right price. But you just have to charge accordingly to your service and how you treat the clients and what you are worth. So now, look at that thumb, y'all. I want y'all to get back to this video and look at that thumb. And look at how I create the top surface very nice and thin. And I put all the white towards the tip. And that's how I am going to do this blend. You see that? So now, the next is the rosebud. So when it comes to making a good blend, you gotta understand your nude. There's different type of nude, different type of color. You're gonna get clients coming in asking for the ridiculous ombre. Like, I want a purple blended in with a yellow. And you're thinking to yourself in your head, like, oh, that sounds cool, because I never done that. But at the moment you start, you're like, damn, this shit don't even look like nice at all. It didn't even blend the right way that I imagined. Exactly. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is that when it comes to doing ombre, you want to make sure you understand the color blend correctly. Like, test it out. Do like a sample, like, let me see if this blend with this one. Because don't get yourself in a hole where you start doing a blend and the other color doesn't blend right with each other. And that's when it looks all jacked up. You ain't happy, you're nervous. The client's like in their heart, they'll be like, oh, I like it. In their head, they're like, oh, that looks not what I imagined. You don't want none of that shit, okay? Here goes the blend. So when it comes to the blend, I'm gonna go ahead and just lay the bead. It's like doing a backfill. If y'all ever done a backfill, it's like, that's how the blend is. But what I want you to think about is that the wetness and the dryness of the bead. That is very important when it comes to an ombre. If you pick up a bead and the acrylic is just too wet and you're trying to blend it, high chance you're gonna pull all that acrylic off the fingernails and it's gonna show throughout the white. I've seen it happen. So what I usually do is I pick up the bead and I look at the bead and watch it form. I kind of let it air dry for like a good 5 seconds. And then that's when I apply the bead. I want my bead, my acrylic ball to be a little bit dense so that when I smooth out the surface, it's just very nice and flat out smooth. But if you wait too long, then the acrylic dries too hard and then you can't do any blend, because now it's like into a little lump of ball. And you don't want to do that, y'all. So there's a lot of little technical things when it comes to doing these blending, especially in the cold weather, y'all. When you guys are doing acrylic application, you got to understand the temperature of the chemicals. When it's hot, it's going to dry faster. When it's cold, it's going to take more time. That's why I always look at my acrylic to see how well it formed and how long it's going to stay like wet, or is it going to dry too fast. Of course, during the winter time, I usually let it sit out a little bit longer after I pick up the bead, you know. But the goal is to create a perfect blend. And the question is, do you go in and apply the clear powder after you finish this ombre set? You can. You can if you want to. There's a lot of nail tech out there who won't do that if they know that they're really good with their electric file and their application is so smooth that they only need to flush the cuticle and a little bit on top of the surface, and they're able to get the ombre without disrupting the blend. If you're new at this industry and you're not very good with electric file, I do recommend that you put a clear powder over your ombre so that even if you do file on top of the surface, it doesn't damage the blend. However, here's another cool trick that I've learned from experience. If you are doing an ombre and you notice your ombre doesn't blend very well, it has kind of these streaks lines that you can see, right? Then go in with the clear powder, because the clear powder is not 100% clear. It has a little bit fog in it. So that fog of the clear powder that you're using will blend it in, will make it blend it in. That's the trick, y'all, okay? That is the trick of making things blend. I do that when it comes to color ombre. When I do like a black and white ombre, I usually like to use, the clear powder over it. When it comes to the pink and white ombre, sometimes if it looks good, I know I can flush it without damaging the blend, I'll go ahead and do that. But a lot of times when I do like color ombre, I like to go in with the clear powder. It's just, I want to be protected. I don't want to play at risk because I did such a good job on the blend. I don't want you to lack on one steps and next thing you know, a couple fingers just doesn't look evenly. And that's the hard part about doing ombre. Now that we got to the fingers, is that you have to get every finger perfectly, y'all. And that's hard. When I say perfectly, I'm not talking about just the blend. I'm just talking about the distance of the blend. Like you look at the finger next to each other, you want that distance of the blend to be dragged out perfectly. And that's hard when it comes to certain type of color acrylics. And there's going to be more color acrylics that I want to show you how to do ombre on instead of just pink and white. But let's start out with the basic. Once we get the basic down, you're out there making money, you're confident of doing a nice blend. Once you get the hang of these basic steps, you're able to do it pretty much to any color. But again, each color has its own pigmentation. Each color has its own fast dry, slow dry. It just all depends on the pigmentation. And you just have to know how to work with that. So as you can see, this client, she's very happy. And I really hope that you guys go out there and do your ombre after this video. I do. I really want you guys just to be confident. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment. Let me know how you feel about doing an ombre. Let me know how you feel about the industry. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs in this industry. Never a perfect day throughout the year. Okay? That's just business. That's just a job. You just got to take what you can and run with it, right? But I can tell you one thing. Get yourself a collection of nude. Okay, Young Nail has some really good collection. They have, I think, a total of 5 different grading of nude for different type of skin tone. I got all their collection. The majority one that you're going to use is going to be called Earth, Rosebud, and Bear, and maybe Beige and White Core. All of these that I just list out, again, I do have the link in the description that you just click on it. It will lead you to all the products that I use on my clients so that you guys can get the best quality product out there on your clients when you guys are producing service. That's the most important part. Anything that you guys do in the nail industry, I do look for the branding. I'm not that type of nail tech where I just go in, buy the cheapest stuff. What you pay for is what you get. You want quality nails. Like I have used crappy stuff in my life because I work for other people that are not willing to use high-end stuff. The nails doesn't produce good work, guys. I'm just going to tell you out there the nails not going to do good work. The brand does matter because the brand will step up to his game and then your creativity is going to fall back into that. Okay? So I just want to let you guys know it's really simple to really do this ombre. Anyone can do it. It took me 20 some years to finally realize how easy it is. It's funny how 10, 15 years ago, ombre did not exist. in the demand of the customer. And now everyone's asking for it. And that's crazy. That's crazy, because imagine if years ago we able to do this process, imagine how much more money veteran nail tech was going to be making. This is amazing. This is awesome. Everyone should get on board with this. That's all I got to say. Everyone should get on board with this. And if you're not on board with this, then you're just falling behind, because this is the next new thing besides a French. And as you all know, the French is also changing. French is getting more deeper, more slick, more sharp, and we're going to get on board with that. And that's going to be a couple more videos I want to share with y'all. But other than that, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so and share this video and like this video. It's gonna help me out so much in terms of the algorithm, passing this on to more nail techs that are struggling, because there are a lot of nail techs out there who are on the verge of giving up, on the edge of falling off the wagon. And I don't want none of that to happen to none of those nail techs, because I know how hard this industry can be, but I also know how rewarding it is if you keep it together and follow through. Other than that, guys, this is an ombre. That's how we do it. Very simple set. This client is happy. Look at that, y'all. Look at that thing. I haven't even done design or put a top coat on there, but that's how it should look like. Look at the blend. Pink and white rosebud, a young nail white core, stiletto shape. And if you don't know how to do stiletto shape, I have a couple videos that I posted. But look at that, y'all. That is an ombre. Beautiful stiletto pink and white ombre. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for listening all the way to the end. I'll see you and hear you on my next video. And leave a comment if you like this. What is going on?